Hey, what's up guys, Debo here. Bringing you guys another video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit with Zenyatta. Current patch is, I do believe it's 1.1.2. It was B before. It is C. We're doing a ranked match on Gibraltar. Average Chalet ranking is 51. The only small other changes I know outside of it that really did for the new patch is that they toned McCree's range down just a little bit, but he's still quite effective. And I've been actually playing a lot of games as Zenyatta, as you guys saw. If you guys have watched the stream last rank, I've been around 42, 43, and I finally started getting my stuff together and started climbing. And I actually was able to go from 48 up to about 55 ending today with Zenyatta. The reason why I think Zenyatta has been so good is recently they've made a change to Zenyatta in the form of they made it so that now, if you notice with the HP, it actually goes by the shield now. What does that mean? They reduced his, instead of giving him full HP, which it can't regenerate, he'll have to go look for a health pack. They give him a regenerating shield. So when you take damage, you step out of combat, that shield will regenerate. Provides a lot of sustainability for Zenyatta. I don't know what I'm doing here in the beginning. I think I'm just going crazy, just kicking stuff. But still same kit. His left click damage has been reduced a tiny bit, but I mean, that's okay. His Orb of Discord is going to increase damage on targets whatever you put upon, and that's really good at, busting down the tanks. You put it on the enemy, it will make them take more damage and also let you see where they're going. It's good to put it on a Genji or Tracer in case you want to know where they're going, or put it on a tank to basically increase the damage they take and make it so your team can burn them down. We still have the Orb of Harmony, which allows us to heal one target at a time, puts like a hot that sits on them for a while, which is very good. And of course our right click, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't even know what it does really, but it's just, I wouldn't recommend using it. You never really need to use that. So as you can see, with the changes to his shield, he's just been very strong. His ultimate also got buffed a little bit. It makes it so that his when he ults, not only does it still do the typical thing as it did before, it heals everybody a certain radius and it can counter a lot of different ultimates. They also sped it up so you can actually kind of be towards the back line, cast your ult, and still get there in time to save your team. So the main thing I like to do is with the Zenyatta is just to make sure I position myself towards the back. I don't want to be up too close to the back line. The distance in which you can buff people with your Orbital Harmony is very far. So you don't have to be up too close. And same thing with the Orb of Discord. So the main thing with Zenyatta is just basically staying alive. Your priority targets, of course, tanks when they get too close. Put that damage on them, or put the Orb of Discord on them so that we can burn them down quickly. Pharahs are very important to get on. Tagging Genjis and Tracers with Orb of Discord is also very important, but the main thing is if you see a Pharah, the reason why a lot of competitive play, they're not running Pharah right now is because a combination of everybody's running Zenyatta and everybody's running McCree, which both can just shut her down quite horribly. So as you can see right here, just coming back to the battlefield, and the only thing I'm trying to do here is, like I said, you see me putting on my Discord, trying to land my my left click, land my shots to put out the damage, spread around the Orbs of Harmony on everybody to get them healed up, staying in the back line, and just keeping simply myself alive. As you can see, I go ahead and ult right there. I do believe I used it to save somebody. I don't think I popped it for no reason. No, I think we did okay, and then Diva actually landed her ult and did quite well. And outside of all that, you can pretty much just see how it is. Just stay in the back line, keep, the Orbs of Harmony on everybody, put Discord on the targets that you need to, and you definitely want to help burn down the tanks, and also, if it's not on the tanks, like I said, Genjis, Pharahs, Tracers, and even sometimes Reapers want to take priority. Since you are going to be hanging out towards the back, you got to kind of sometimes look out towards the right and behind you. Sometimes there will be enemies trying to sneak up behind you, like a Reaper or a Tracer or a Genji. But if you could see them coming, you put an Orb of Discord on them, then they'll be marked, and then you'll know where they're coming from. The current meta right now, I've been watching in Pro Play. And like I said, you don't have to really duplicate everything in Pro Play, but vaguely, if you are looking, the big thing is, double tank, double support is still a thing. Now, if you want Lucio Mercy, as long as you run one of those major healers and you back it up with the Ana, she also receives some buffs, but I'll make a video about that later. Or you run a Zenyatta, that's the most optimal. But I'm just telling you, every composition you want to run Zenyatta. The reason for his damage is superb. His Orb of Discord makes everybody take more damage, and all his ultimate counters Reaper, it counters Pharahs, it counters a lot. I think the couple ults it does not counter, even counters Zarya. There's a couple of them that it doesn't counter. Well, it'll keep myself alive because it makes me invulnerable. But I do believe Diva ult and things of like McCree ult, I think it goes through that. I could be wrong, but for the most part, I know it pretty much can counteract most ultimates. So usually I like to use it as a way to respond to the enemy doing something. So if a Reaper or a Pharah goes off, I pop my ult, I save my team and keep everybody alive. And that's what's been such a staple from Zenyatta, because it really just shuts down a lot of ultimates and gotten to the point where in competitive play, enemies actually have to bait out the Zenyatta ult before they do anything. So you're a Reaper, they have a Zenyatta, you haven't seen him ult, he probably has it, and when you do your ult, you have to be very careful. You have to make sure the Zenyatta's dead, or you time it correctly, or make sure he's separated from the group, but even then he can ult and get sped up and run up to the group and save them, because the problem is a smart Zenyatta player will save it for your ult. So be wary of that if you are going against one and it's still alive and the Zenyatta's not taken down yet. But yeah, it's pretty much a double tank, double healer meta. You can run any two healers, any two tanks. That usually will get you through most rank play. For the most part, it's very strong. But the true optimal setup that everybody's running, or it seems like, is like for instance on defense on payload type maps, you would run a you would usually run a Zenyatta. You would run a Lucio. You might run a Mercy on the first point, or at the very first couple points to try to get the res to keep people up and block them. But for the most part, after you go past the first couple points, so for instance, after you go through this first major area, then you would probably switch to a Lucio. But it's usually Lucio or Mercy, but most people run Lucio, and then it's followed by Zenyatta. So that's your first 2 slots, followed by a McCree. And then for your 4th slot is a Zyra. And for the remaining people that you put inside the group is based on what map and what you're doing. So as an example, I do believe I was watching Cloud9. They were defending on this. I'm not too for sure, don't quote me on this, but I do believe they were running a Zenyatta. They were running a Mercy for a little bit into a Lucio. They had a Zara. They had a McCree. I do believe they had a Reinhardt. And I think for the last slot, I think it was a Soldier 76 or it was a Junkrat. I could be wrong. But you get the basic idea. Zenyatta, Mercy, and Lucio together. Tanks should always be one Zarya. And also a Reinhardt, maybe a Roadhog. Diva. Diva's been buffed. I got to make a video about that. But Diva's a good choice too. Winston is fine. But as long as you have those 2 tanks, one of which is a Zarya, that's fine. And then, you know, you have your 2 healers, one of which is a Zenyatta, and the other one's either Lucio or Mercy. You're looking in great shape already with your team comp. So, I mean, that's pretty much about it. I know a lot of people don't like to play or stick by the meta, but the meta exists for a reason. You don't have to be a slave to the meta. You just have to acknowledge it. Maybe you don't play Zenyatta. Maybe you play an Ana with the Mercy. Or the Lucio pick. Maybe you don't want to run a Reinhardt and a Zarya every time. Okay, you might want to run a Roadhog. Or you might run one tank and run another DPS, but don't be surprised if you're playing versus another team. I noticed some of the players are really starting to notice the shifts in what people are doing. And even at the 50s, even at mid-40s, I start seeing people just steadily running one major support, being Lucio or Mercy, followed by a Zenyatta or a Ana. And depending on with the recent changes to Ana, who knows, you might see Ana and Zenyatta if people want to run a high DPS comp and still be able to have support. But I mean, that's pretty much about it. I would definitely tell everybody to go ahead and pick up Zenyatta. I've been able to get some good matches down with her, with him, or it, or robot. Got currently, I do believe, a 60% win rate in ranked, so I was pretty happy. I've been running a lot of games with him. I've been able to carry quite well. My aim's pretty solid. It's not godlike or anything. But I am able to keep the heals up, being able to kill the enemy team effectively with damage and the Orbit Discord to debuff them and the ultimate to save the team just makes him a very strong pick right now. So if you like playing support and you got, like, say for instance you play Lucio and you notice that, you know, hey, I can do some pretty good damage on Lucio and I'm pretty good at healing, try Zenyatta, it might be up your alley. And then let somebody else take a Lucio or Mercy. Or if you're running with people that, you know, are maybe not that great at doing a Zenyatta themselves, because you definitely got to practice with Zenyatta. You got to respect your distance and play from afar and watch for flankers. That's why, you know, I do believe he's ranked at a 3-star difficulty. You might pass a Mercy or, you know, Lucio pick to your friend who maybe is less skilled than you, or maybe just they prefer it, and you could play the Zenyatta and help out the team and what have you not. So definitely you want to consider that and start thinking about that if you really want win your matches. Like I said, I'm up to 55 right now. I'm just trying to stay at 60 and higher. I'll get there. I'm pretty sure with the way I'm playing Zenyatta. I'm very happy and I've been enjoying it. And that's pretty much about it. So, you know, go ahead and give it a check out. Try Zenyatta. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how you guys feel about Zenyatta in the comments. Have you guys noticed the changes? You know, make sure you guys subscribe and like to the channel, or like the video and share it with your friends and let them know what's up. And like I said, this is just a long line of me just trying to cover everything that's going on in the world of Overwatch. I think I'm going to start getting it to at least one video a day, just so I can start archiving all these videos and start putting together a huge guide section so people can get the most up-to-date information on the new changes in Overwatch, what the current meta is, and what kind of suggestions you should be doing in case, you know, you want to go towards competitive play, you want to improve your win rate, and you want to become a better player. And that's pretty much about it. In closing, this match, we ended up, I think, doing very well. We were actually able to hold them before they got to the second point, so it was very easy. As you can see, getting up in everybody's face, and, you know, I'm doing my good damage on Zenyatta, but the problem is I got too close there. That was me being a little stupid. I thought I could finish off the Reaper when he ulted. I shouldn't have did that. I should have stayed in the back, but I didn't respect the space and I died. But it's okay because we're on attack. On defense, I would never do that, but I need to get a little bit better with that on attack, because the biggest thing about Zenyatta is not dying, keeping up orbs on people, and just staying in the back and putting out the extra DPS. We're going through the underpass here. It's going to be a little bit of a fight right here, but, you know, like I said, I'm able to keep myself alive, I think, for a good amount of the part, keep orbs up on people who are taking the damage, and just sit back and just keep throwing out those heals and just trying to put damage on my targets, putting out that orb of discord, you know, and, you know, just trying to line up my shots so I can just keep putting out some damage. And like I said, I'm back here in the distance because I got really good range on Zenyatta. And I do believe the tank that was to our Reaper, whoever's right, is coming back out. But, you know, like I said, just sitting back, putting my orb on whoever I can, trying to land whatever damage that I can, and saving my ult and waiting for them to do something crazy before I ult. Like maybe Zarya ult, I'll ult. If, McCree tries to come down there and do something crazy, I might do it then. If a Reaper tries to do his ult, I might try to do something. I think I ult here. And I do believe, yes, D.Va still killed 2 people, but I ulted there to keep myself alive so we can just keep the momentum. Normally I would say I shouldn't have did that, but that's alright. You know, I kept myself alive, and then I'm just going right back to pushing the payload. I noticed that, you know, the Genji just did his ult. I think he was able to kill a couple people in the back, which is good. And I'm just trying to stay up here, do what I gotta do. I think I'm getting chased by the Zarya. She ended up getting me killed. I should have stayed back a little bit more, but that's okay. We still have 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and we don't have that much far to push. We already made a lot of good progress, so not too much to worry there. And basically the way they were playing, I was in my mind, I was like, I don't really think they're gonna hold us. But in terms of just being overall safe, I really should have just played the Zenyatta back a little bit more. But like I said, you'll learn just to play properly. You know, different champions or different heroes, what do you want to call them, have different limitations. And as long as you always respect those limitations, you can get a lot of it done. Because like I said, the less you die, the more heals and more damage you're able to pull out, and the more you can help out your team. And we got a buff from Lucio, so this is kind of point where I'm like, okay, we're looking pretty good. And we're getting people low. And now I'm just trying to make sure I line up my shots and keep up the orbs of harmony on people who need it. And then, like I said, we just drive it in and we just start going after everybody. We're able to lay out the D.Va there, put a discord on her, burn through her mech, and we take a death right here, which sucks. But, you know, that's okay. We pushed on through. It's a longer run back for them. We're getting around the corner. I should have played a little bit more back, but you know what? We're getting aggressive. I wanted to make sure we get that D.Va kill. And we finished off the match and we won. So, I mean, that's pretty much about it. Like I said, go ahead and give D.Va another tryout and stuff like that. And I'm not D.Va, I'm sorry, Zenyatta tryout. Very good support right now to play. Very solid character pick. And also the nice thing about it, as playing as Zenyatta, you're actually able to, you know, get more medals in terms of damage and heals, not just only heals like Lucio or Mercy. Of course, you know, Lucio, you can get some pretty good damage and eliminations, but Zenyatta is really good at that. And of course, you know, the more damage you do, the more heals you get, the more medals you get. It does relate to your player skill when you're climbing, and you get like a lot of experience. So I did notice between my Mercy and Lucio games I'd win, I'd always get around a certain fixed amount of experience. But in the games in which I'm playing Zenyatta, where I totally go off and do a lot of damage in combination with the healing and maybe even getting objective time and eliminations, and also like, you know, objective eliminations, even though that's not my major focus, if I play really well with Zenyatta, I'm able to get a ton of experience. As you can see there, I got a ton right there, and that's almost a level. So, you know, go out there, give Zenyatta a try, see how it fits to you, for you. Let me know how you guys feel about it and everything like that. And then, like I said, I got some more videos coming out about D.Va, some of the other big meta picks, Zarya, you know, what's going on currently. And like I said, these are just videos to put it out there to help people understand what the current meta is, what's going on for Overwatch, and things that you can do to come to help sway the game towards you winning, because sometimes the only person on your team you can rely on is yourself, unfortunately. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day. As always, I'm Debo, and I'll check you guys next time.